Yo, what's up guys, I'm back, got a review for this time. We have this 92 future star Vlahovic. Now, thankfully by the time he came out as a future star, he was moved to Juventus, so that makes him a little bit more usable, as well as the 4-star skills, 4-star weak foot with this upgrade on this card. So on stats then, so he's 6'3", he's got high medium work rates, he's left footed with 4-star skills, 4-star weak foot, he's got 90 pace, 92 shooting, 73 passing, 90 dribbling and 90 physical, so on paper looks like quite a good striker. Unfortunately the card has no traits, which is a little bit annoying, but I'll speak more about on the overall scores kind of thing. In the games I played with him, I played him in a 4-4-2 as a striker alongside Vinicius. Now, I'm going to spoil one of my reviews coming up, but let's just say, right, I did the middle prime icon pack, and let's just say I got a little Portuguese man, and I've had him in the past and a couple of FIFAs ago, and he's a gem, so be ready for that. It's a good one. But that's all of my intro. If you do want to see more, please do subscribe. It does help the channel out a lot. But I've got nothing more to say, so enjoy the clips and I'll see you for the positives and negatives afterwards. So, on to my other thoughts about the card then. Now, I normally do this in segments, so if you haven't watched one of my videos, so I do, I see the intro, then all the clips, and then I go on my overall thoughts about the card, and then I'll give, like, ratings on each individual one, like pace shooting, that, and then I'll give, like, value for coins and an overall score. So, let's get on to the, what I think of the card. So, overall for this card, He's a little bit of a weird one, to be honest. He's not your normally meta kind of card, and you will notice that in game. He's 6'3", so he's not really going to be as agile as strikers, even though it says he's got 92. It doesn't really feel like that in game, because he's 6'3", he doesn't turn as fast as you really want him to. But if you use those like shot cancels this year, the L1R ones, no, L2R2 ones, sorry, they're really, really good with this card. Just allows you to open up space with him when you probably couldn't with like a normal skill, because he's 6'3". But 4-star is actually really nice for this card. I did enjoy that, to be fair. It's a nice upgrade, especially those skills. It just allows you to make any, like, let's say because he's 6'3", like, you're not going to have like many touches, so when you do, you need to have a good touch where the ball controls comes into play, and then have a nice skill at the end of it that's not going to make it like too heavy a touch, because some skills this year are really quite clunky, so you need to pick the right skills out of this card. And I wouldn't suggest stuff like the Lacroquettes, because he's quite like slow on it, to be honest. Now, the pace to me actually felt quite good. When you trigger this running behind with the attack position as well, as you 97 base, that's incredible. You get through, get in behind, outpace people like Varane and stuff like that, shield them off with that 93 strength. That's another really good aspect, sorry. Amazing aspect, that strength. And then he would go through, and one of his best shooting aspects I found was the chip shot. When he chipped it, he was really, really good. Unfortunately, there's no actual chip shot on this, so you can't actually put it in perspective how good it is. But generally, the chips are really, really nice, to be fair. This card was very weird for me, because I think I had like 6 screens with this card. I was screening most things with him, and he was missing a lot of time. I don't know if that was because it was post-patch or something, but generally this card just felt a bit weird with the greens. I don't know what it was. But as I was talking about, the chips are really good with this card when you play him over the top with these L1R triangle balls. The shot power is another good aspect about him. Just allows you to rocket it across goal if you need him to. With these big keepers now, you need to hit it hard, you need to hit it powerful across to get away from them. So he has got that. Now next up, the passing. Now generally, it's quite average. The short pass is the only thing that really boosts it. Other than that, they're generally quite bad passing attributes. So generally stay away from that. And I also would recommend you put the edging chem style just to boost it like up a little bit more. Now the dribbling, as I talked about, because he's 6'3", he's not really going to be the most like nimble and swift card. But that being said, he still isn't too bad with it. There is cards that are worse at the same height, but generally just don't try and use too many skills with this card. He's not that kind of player. Now, next for me is the reactions. Now, this was actually a really good start by the card. It was reactions to getting behind, sort of like react to the ball, react to dribbling, and sort of that. Really, really nice, to be fair. Now, next was the composure. Now, maybe this was why he was missing a few chances here and there, because the composure. Now, I got a little bit frustrated this at times, because I think a card of this stature, you kind of do want him to be the like finisher, because he's not really like the most agile and nimble player on it, so you do want him to be a really good finisher. And when he did miss, I was a little bit disappointed, because as you've seen the clips, he did miss quite a few, to be honest. Now this is where he comes into his own. Now the physicals, wow, he's such a good card for physicals. So you got the 90 head nasty with a 90 jumping, that's incredible. And I think you've seen the clips like Green, that he's got no chance. No one's got anywhere near him, because that 90 jumping, if you want to boost it with the Hawk or something like that, just to make it 99 jumping, he will be an absolute salmon in the air. Now next one is his stamina. Now that will last you all game, to be fair, and extra time, because he's not really making those runs backwards because of the medium work rate is the high medium, but generally I'll last you all game. Now as I talk about, the strength is a really good attribute, as long with the aggression as well. Both of these combined, like, I really love good aggression on a striker, because they can just grab the ball when they lose and all that, just like proper like try and go in for it. So that's really nice about the card. But sort of my overall thoughts on the card. Now let's go into overall scores. So on to my overall scores then. Now this is the easiest part of the video. I'll also put it on screen, so it's very easy for you guys to follow. So first is the pace. Now as I talked about, it's quite decent when you set him in behind. He wouldn't really get out pace that often. He is 6'3", you got to remember that. So he's not really going to be the most like lightning fast player for one goal. But overall, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. I do think that's a solid score, to be fair. Obviously it could be a lot better, but it could be a lot worse. Now, the shooting is a really tricky one to rank, because at times you'd be a really deadly finisher, but at other times you'd be a shocking finisher. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Now, I know that's quite disappointing, because he has 97 finishing base and all that, but there was just certain shots that I think really should be going in. I feel like players like Vinny would even score them, to be honest. Now, the passing for me, I'm going to keep it brief, 3 out of 10. I don't think it's any better than that. All of them are quite average, except for the short pass. Next up is the dribbling attribute. So as I talked about, most of them quite decent. The 6'3" height, so it doesn't really help that necessarily. But overall for that, I'm going to give it 8.5 out of 10. I just feel like the agility is there, and it is like that's why I've dropped it like a 1.5 score. But all the other aspects are actually quite decent about it. So Now the physicals for me, I'm gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10. I do really think it's that good. I was gonna possibly give it a 10, but I don't think I really can because its attributes are kind of boosted. Obviously they could be 99 stats, and that's for like team of the season and stuff like that when they obviously get boosted. But generally 9.5 is a really solid score to be fair for the physicals, and that is his probably key aspect about this card. So value for coins then, so coming in at 570k, do I think it's worth it? I'm going to say no personally. I think he's worth around 250k. I don't see any more than that, so value for coins no. I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10 personally. So overall score then, I'm going to give him a 8.1 out of 10. That is depending on the month obviously that you're watching it. It probably will go down maybe like April time. But generally 8.1 out of 10 I think is a fair score. He still has a decent card at times, but overall he just had that didn't have that X factor that a lot of people do. But as always, my view as always, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do subscribe. As I said at the start, it really does help the channel out a lot. But I've got nothing more to say, so I'll see you in the next review, and peace out guys.